3D scanning of their vehicle, see what the fit and finish is kind of going to look like, and then we design the whole thing.
What's up, everyone? Today I'm here with Scott from EVWorks, and he's going to take us through a car. I've never seen one of these before, and it is a type of Bel Air. We all love Bel Airs, but this one has a few unique items and a pretty awesome EV powertrain. So Scott, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
So what do we got here?
So this is a 1955 Chevy Nomad. So it is the wagon version of a Bel Air, essentially.
There's pretty nice paint on here already. That tells me that maybe it was a hot rod already before.
Yeah, so it was souped up quite a bit in the past, and the fuel tank rusted out on it, started leaking, so now the customer wants to convert it to electric and wants it for...
Because they want to drive it, right?
Yeah, they want to drive it. They want to drive it on the weekends, and converting it to electric is a really good way to just keep it reliable, and you can let it sit for a long time and they last. So
that's one of the things with EV conversions that like we see over and over again is when people want to drive their cars and not just wrench on them all the time.
Yeah,
convert them.
Yep.
So this is a pretty sound body. Overall, was there much rust you guys had to do with it?
It wasn't too bad. We did, at the rear, we did shave the spare tire well and have new panels welded in. So, and in here, the dash looks in pretty good shape.
Is this a stock color in interior?
You know, that's a good question. I'm not an expert on that type of things on these cars.
But there's a new steering column.
Yeah, so that's brand new. It's an electric powered steering column.
Oh.
E-Pass, and we had it paint matched to match the car. So
when this is all said and done, it's going to be a classic, but it's going to have a little bit of resto mod elements, some creature comforts.
Yeah, so it'll have heating, air conditioning, heating and AC cooling for the batteries as well.
Oh, really?
And it's going to be somewhat similar to the Slate where you add your own phone. So there's
oh, sweet.
We have it designed, but it's not in the car right now. There's a MagSafe mount that goes right in the middle there.
Oh, cool. That'll be awesome.
Customers really excited about that part.
Yeah, that's a neat integration.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's walk around the other way and look in the back here. But this is a really neat project. One thing that it does not have any chassis on it right now. This is just the body shell, right?
Yep.
Because you guys are doing some pretty interesting things to the chassis. We're going to head
Yeah, we are. On the way, we can see it will have NACS inside the fuel door. So this is the prototype of it. It'll have the Tesla Model S type light ring in the future.
Oh, cool.
It's actually a Tesla, full-on Tesla actually assembly as well.
Assembly.
In the inner part too, so.
So it'll be able to, will it be able to level 3 charge?
We can offer that as an option. This customer opted not to do it, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
This probably is like, its future is weekend warrior, car shows, stuff like that.
Yep.
Maybe track?
I don't think so.
No?
Well, I mean, you could take it to the drag race, but.
They could if they wanted
they
to,
could,
right? Just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome. There's a lot of room inside a car like this.
Yeah, it's got a bench seat in the rear and front.
Okay, and these are the batteries that are going into it?
Yeah, these are the batteries. These are Hyperpack, the power Hyperpacks.
Okay.
So I got the Samsung 40T cells in there.
How many kilowatt hour total is this pack?
It'll be about 50 kilowatt hours total with six of them.
And these have water cooling?
Yeah, so there's the AN8 fittings on them. Come with these nice caps.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, and then the power lock series connectors, and yeah.
Power, cooling.
And then this is the BMS connections. So you have your BMS satellites internal to here, and then they all get daisy chained to each other for BMS communications, temp sensing, balancing, everything.
Cool. And that's all built in.
Yeah, that's all built in. So the BMS is internal. I think it's really important to not have high voltage wires coming outside the battery pack, and that's the way these are set up, with them all internal to the pack. So
where are you guys going to mount these?
So 3 will go in the rear, laying flat, and then 3 will go in the engine bay as well.
Okay. And for the engine bay, that may be in this box?
Yes. So
this is the coolest box, man.
Thank you.
Look at that, and the logo EVWorks.
Yeah, Chandler,
custom, right?
One of our engineers here, did really good work on this. It looks really cool too.
So this is the overall chassis for the car. It's getting all the EV bits put in. Here's for the steering column to connect to.
Yep, so we got a manual gearbox unit on here for the E-Pass to go through. And Clint, could you grab one of the bolts that goes through the billet piece? Do you know where it's at?
While he's doing that, what are we looking at here as far as the boxes on the box?
So this is the high voltage junction box. So the power from the batteries come in through here, and then the charger, heater, AC, and your high voltage accessories all go through here. So there's contactors inside, and isolation monitoring, and all that good stuff. So.
Cool. There's another box on the other side.
Yeah, so that's
there.
the onboard charger and the DC converter.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have this billet piece in the front, which mounts to the original frame on the Nomad, and then these bolts very satisfyingly slide right into there. And
there's cool.
Like basically no slop, so we don't have to cut the frame there or anything, which is really nice.
Is there any frame modification that you guys have had to do for this?
Not much, aside from this had a engine swap in it originally, and the motor mounts were pretty buggered up. So we had these boxes welded on that give us a nice place to weld our motor mounts onto. Then we also welded this square tube into it for the rear portion of the battery mounting.
That's pretty minimal.
Yeah. And then in the rear we designed this subframe for the rear part of the motor. And this subframe is from E-Muscle Cars. They make a really nice ready-to-go package for a Cascadia IM225 motor and the over-ringer gearbox.
Single-speed gearbox, right?
Yep. It's got water cooling built into it, which is really nice.
Oh, that is cool.
So you can go, you go through your inverter, which is going to live under here, to the oil cooler on the motor, to here, and then back, all in the same loop. And we can grab one. I don't know if you've seen one, but they have like almost no slop in them, and feel like they're very well built. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, this is the first time that I've seen one of those, but that's very cool. I like how it's all hooked up too. It's very, very sane, very simple, and it looks super secure as well. What sort of performance specs do people see out of a IM225 like this? So
it can do 225 kilowatts peak which is about 300 horsepower, a little over that. And then you can get the bigger inverter, the CM350, or you could put one of the older PM250s on it and get something like 500 kilowatts out of it, or a little bit more.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's
out of the same motor. So if you wanted to later upgrade inverters, it's a lot more money for that inverter. But
interesting.
But
the
it's
difference
totally doable. So
motor can handle it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Looks like you guys did some work on the rear end here. What are we looking at here? This Clint is the wizard extraordinaire on this build, and we're gonna ask you very nicely to tell us a little bit about this rear end and how you have it set up.
So basically the factory rear end in this, even at the ceiling of upgrading it and everything, there wasn't a lot of power that we could throw at it confidently long term. So we went ahead and swapped it over to this Strange Engineering S60 axle. It's basically a Dana 60, but quite a bit lighter weight. And we had that built up. We have the disc brake conversion and whatnot. So this should be a pretty nice unit with minimal gear lash and everything and slop in the system.
Amazing. And did you have to replace or rethink any of the leaf springs, like, do you have to beef it up or anything like that?
We will end up having to uprate the leaf springs to accommodate the battery modules that will be in the trunk so we can maintain the desired ride height. But the axle was actually cut, the axle tubes were cut down in length to match our specific application.
Oh, awesome. So it's pretty dialed in. And then brake upgrade as well.
Yeah, it went from drum brakes to disc brakes, and obviously it'll have e-brakes that are hi-hat internal to the rotors, so we'll have to do a custom integration on that setup. But having the disc brakes will be pretty nice. It'll be a little bit more predictable outcome when you're hammering down on it.
When you are when you're fitting all of this stuff, I mean, I can only imagine how challenging it is to kind of get everything to align just right. But in this build, did anything work out easy and better than you expected? Like, it just worked?
We haven't had too much issues, especially with the suspension, the axle, et cetera, the cross members. We haven't had too much issue getting that integrated because we were able to design it to a platform that we're working with. Everything went really smooth so far with all of it. We haven't had a lot of issues with that side yet.
That's great. I love to hear it.
Especially with the 3D scanning.
Yeah.
Having the whole thing in the computer and CAD.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. What are you guys using to 3D scan?
We used to use an Einstar, now we have the rocket scanner with the laser scanning and IR scanning. So
cool.
We built a whole crazy gaming desktop just to run the scanner because it's pretty memory hungry. You have 192 gigabytes of RAM on it.
Dang! Did you have to benchmark that on any games?
I haven't yet. We need to.
You probably should.
We're in the process of building a racing simulator for it. So, so we got to put that computer to work.
That's yes. Okay.
We've got a
cannot wait.
Old, but in great condition, like Tesla Model X seat with the real leather with the cooled seats and everything. So that'll be the seat for it. It's gonna be fun.
We need this project stat. Drop everything else.
Yeah.
One thing that we didn't talk about yet on this build is the controlling. What are you guys using to control all of this?
So this one is controlled by Hypercraft's VCU.
Okay.
So we'll have full control and pretty much everything we want to adjust to make it drive like a OEM vehicle. We're going to do one pedal driving on it. So we've got a Bosch iBooster that can press on the brakes when regen becomes ineffective around 2 miles an hour. So you can just lift up on the throttle and then the vehicle will come all the way to a stop. Don't have to touch the brake at all.
Well, that sounds great. I love one pedal driving. I find myself missing it when I don't have it now that I'm acclimated to it.
Yeah, around here when there's traffic, it's really nice not just being able to set both feet on the ground and hang out.
Yeah.
So.
Is there anything that was particularly challenging on this build as you've kind of been working it out?
That's a good question. Most of the mechanical integration has gone fairly smoothly. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anything off the top of my head.
So
it's
going
too challenging
well.
about it, but
well.
Yeah.
Well, you guys must have a really good plan that as you're working through that, it's doing you well.
Yeah, we have a whole process we go through. So we normally, when our clients come in, we go through preliminary design if we get an idea of kind of what they want to do, and we'll do some 3D scanning of their vehicle, see what the fit and finish is kind of going to look like, and then we design the whole thing, figure out the whole bill of materials ahead of time, have everything in CAD, have all the wiring designed and contract design, and then we do the build. So once we move to the build phase and then testing and tuning everything, most of the things just bolt together and go together pretty quickly. So
I love it. Well, looking forward to seeing this one on the road. Thank you so much for taking us through.
Yeah,
man.
you're welcome.
All right.